Welcome to the DIY Honda Garage channel. The diagnostic trouble code, DTC P0685, specifically indicates a malfunction related to the ECM PCM power control circuit in the Honda Civic models from 2006 to 2011. The ECM stands for Engine Control Module, while the PCM denotes Powertrain Control Module. These components are crucial for managing various engine functions and ensuring optimal performance. A failure in this circuit can lead to engine control issues, resulting in poor vehicle performance. Additionally, the error suggests there may be an internal malfunction within these circuits. It is essential to follow a systematic troubleshooting approach to accurately diagnose and address the issue, ensuring reliability and safety in the vehicle's operation. DTC P0685 indicates an issue with the ECM PCM power control circuit, which is fundamental for the operation of the engine control and powertrain systems. The ECM, or Engine Control Module, is primarily responsible for managing engine parameters, optimizing fuel efficiency, and controlling emissions. Located in the engine compartment, this component receives data from various sensors to adjust engine performance accordingly. When the power control circuit malfunctions internally, it can disrupt the communication between the ECM and other components, resulting in potential engine performance issues. Diagnosing this trouble code involves not only understanding the role of the ECM, but also recognizing its direct impact on the vehicle's overall functionality. Several potential causes can trigger DTC P0685, starting with loose connectors at the IGP line. The IGP stand for ignition power, which supplies the necessary power to the ECM PCM. If these connectors are not secure, it can create intermittent signals, causing the malfunction to surface. Additionally, the ECM PCM itself may be faulty, requiring replacement or reprogramming. Wiring issues, such as frayed wires or corrosion, can also impede signal transmission within the circuit. Each of these causes needs thorough inspection to prevent unnecessary replacement of the ECM PCM, which may not address the actual issue at hand. Therefore, troubleshooting should focus on these areas initially. Understanding the symptoms related to DTC P0685 is vital for effective troubleshooting. One common sign is that the engine may fail to start altogether, indicating that the power control circuit is not providing the necessary signals. Additionally, if the engine does start, drivers may experience poor performance, characterized by stalling or erratic acceleration. Occasionally, the DTC may only appear intermittently, hinting at a loose or damaged connection rather than a constant failure. Recognizing these symptoms early can save time and minimize costs associated with repairs. Proper diagnosis based on these manifestations lays the groundwork for resolving the underlying problem effectively. The first troubleshooting step involves turning the ignition switch to the on position, which is also referred to as the II position. This allows the vehicle systems to power up without starting the engine. Following this, the DTC should be cleared using the HDS, or Honda Diagnostics System, which facilitates communication between the vehicle's computers and the technician. This step is critical as it resets any stored codes, enabling the technician to monitor current performance accurately. After clearing the DTC, it is essential to start the engine and allow it to idle for 30 seconds. This provides the ECM/PCM an opportunity to initialize and run self-diagnostics, gathering new data to assess whether the malfunction persists. After allowing the engine to idle, the next step is to turn the ignition switch to the lock position, indicated as 0. This action is necessary to reset the vehicle's systems completely before re-evaluating the condition. Once the ignition is locked, the engine must be started again and allowed to idle for another 30 seconds. Repeating this process helps to confirm whether the initial DTC P0685 still registers. This series of steps establishes a consistent environment in which the ECM PCM can perform diagnostics accurately. When performed correctly, this sequence can help verify if the issue has truly been resolved or if further investigation is required. After repeating the engine ignition process, the ignition switch must again be turned to the lock or 0 position. This ensures that all vehicle systems are adequately reset. Once in the lock position, switch the ignition back to on, to power the vehicle systems back on. The next step involves checking for any pending or confirmed DTCs using the Honda Diagnostics System, HDS. This diagnostic tool helps to identify whether DTC P0685 or any other trouble codes have been triggered during the engine's operation. This step is pivotal because it directly informs the technician if the issue remains present and requires further attention. Once the pending DTCs have been checked, it is essential to determine whether DTC P0685 is present. If the code is indicated, it confirms that the problem continues to exist within the power control circuit. In this case, further troubleshooting is warranted to find the root cause, such as examining the IGP line connectors or considering the substitution of the ECM PCM. Conversely, if the DTC does not appear, it suggests an intermittent failure. This may point to a loose connection that does not consistently disrupt the system. Documenting this behavior can aid in the search for an elusive and often challenging intermittent fault. When DTC P0685 persists, the next step is to assess whether the ECM or PCM has the latest software update. Manufacturers often release updates that resolve known bugs or enhance performance. A lack of current software could be causing the persistent fault. If the software is not up to date, the technician should proceed to update it. If the latest software is already installed, substituting the existing ECM/PCM with a known good component will help isolate the malfunction. After this substitution, it is necessary to start the engine and let it idle for 30 seconds before rechecking for DTCs to see if the issue has been rectified. After performing the updates or substituting the ECM/PCM, checking for DTC P0685 again is crucial. If the same code appears, it indicates that the new or updated ECM/PCM may still not be functioning correctly, necessitating further investigation into wiring and connections. At this point, the technician should return to the initial troubleshooting steps, focusing on examining the wiring layout and IGP connectors for loose or damaged parts. However, if DTC P0685 does not reappear, the troubleshooting is effectively complete. This indicates that either the software update or the ECM/PCM substitution resolved the issue, reinstating normal performance to the vehicle's engine control systems. Upon completion of the troubleshooting process and any necessary repairs, a final verification step is crucial. The primary goal is to ensure that DTC P0685 does not reappear in the system. After clearing any diagnostic codes, a test drive is highly recommended to evaluate the vehicle's performance thoroughly. This real-world condition check allows the technician to observe the engine operation under typical driving scenarios. Confirming that everything functions normally is critical in ensuring that the repairs were effective and the vehicle is back to optimal functionality. This final verification step reassures both the technician and vehicle owner that the issues have been resolved satisfactorily. Preventive maintenance plays a vital role in avoiding issues like DTC P0685 before they occur. Regularly checking the connections related to the IGP line ensures that any signs of wear or looseness can be addressed immediately, preventing intermittent faults. Alongside that, it's critical to keep the ECM, PCM software updated, as manufacturers frequently release enhancements that optimize performance and reliability. Additionally, routinely inspecting wiring conditions can avert potential failures from frayed or corroded wires that disrupt signals. By instilling these preventive measures, vehicle owners can greatly reduce the likelihood of encountering multiple DTCs, ensuring a smoother driving experience over time. In conclusion, understanding DTC P0685 and its implications is fundamental for maintaining your Honda Civic. The ECM/PCM plays a critical role in vehicle operation, and recognizing its functions is essential for any troubleshooting efforts. A careful and systematic diagnosis ensures that the root causes of such trouble codes are accurately identified and resolved without unnecessary parts replacement. Furthermore, implementing preventive steps can significantly minimize the chances of encountering similar issues again in the future. By taking proactive measures, vehicle owners can enhance both performance and longevity, leading to a more reliable driving experience. Please like and subscribe to the channel. See you next time!